not a fallback. It is a bold leap forward for dreamers, builders, innovators, and problem solvers. Those who shape our nation with their hands, hearts, and minds. Let us advance skill, empower our future, and build the Nigeria we believe in together. Before I close, allow me to do something very Nigerian. Let me blow our trumpet, just a little. After all, even a chalkboard needs someone to write on it. I sincerely congratulate all of us at the Federal Ministry of Education. This achievement is the result of vision, determination, and a good old-fashioned teamwork. I sincerely applaud the hard-working TVET initiative team, partners, stakeholders, and everyone behind the scene who endured late calls, endless emails, and countless meetings. At the heart of this vision is our Honorable Minister of Education, whose leadership has been the compass guiding this entire process. Honorable Minister, we thank you. We thank you not just for leading, but for inspiring this journey and believing in the power of skills and people. I believe we are building something truly transformative. Long live TVET. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and thank you all.
I believe we can make that applause a bit louder. Thank you very much for that warm welcome address, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll move straight to the next item on the agenda, which is the goodwill messages. And leading us off is the representative of the Honorable Minister of State, Labor and Employment, Engineer Dr. Tiza Chiala Shaka. Please, a round of applause for yourself.
The voice you're hearing, that of Engineer Dr. Tiza Chiala Shaka, PhD. For the message represents the true position of Federal Minister of Labor and Employment. A goodwill message by the Honorable Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Barrister Mrs. Nkiruka Onyediocha, PhD, to the press conference launch of technical and vocational education training. The Honorable Minister, Federal Minister of Education, the Honorable Minister of State, the Honorable Minister of Education, Honorable Ministers of State here present, critical stakeholders in the education and TVET ecosystem, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. TVET originally stands for Technical, Industrial, Vocational, and Entrepreneurial Training, and is a mandate strictly domiciled in the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. Labor Act, Cap L1, 2004, Section 49-53 refers. You will agree with me that the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment has been discharging the mandate effectively and efficiently over time, despite many constraints. The Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment has noticed of recent and frowned at some ministries, departments and agencies, NDAs, encroaching into her statutory mandate, especially in the area of technical, industrial, vocational and entrepreneurial training. The Federal Ministry of Employment, we prefer a genuine partnership with willing ministries, departments and agencies, NDAs, for vocational, technical skills development, training, attestation, certification, apprenticeship and traineeship regulation, control, standardization and compliance, knowing fully well that we cannot do it alone. To this end, the ministry is inviting all critical stakeholders stakeholders within the skills ecosystem to team up as a strong force in strengthening the Nigerian workforce readiness in order to improve employability across the TVET sector. The Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment has at today 30 functional skills training centers, which she supervises directly, and over 147 skills acquisition centers of the National Directorate of Employment, a parastatal under her supervision. The ministry equally has 40 trade testing centers in 40 major cities in Nigeria, in which trade testing services is offered to willing candidates in the technical and vocational training centers of government and private candidates are usually categorized into external candidates for those who acquire training informally at private training centers, while internal candidates are for those that acquire formal training in government-recognized professional and technical institutions. After completing a full period of skills training, successful candidates are issued with different classes of the trade test certificate of competence. As you are all aware, the trade test certificate of competence is an internationally recognized and acceptable qualification for skilled workers in all the over 187 international labor organizations, ILO member nations in the world. Finally, the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment stands in solidarity with this initiative and hope to partner with the Federal Ministry of Education in this area for the benefit of all Nigerians.
Don't put your hands together for the representative spoken like a true labor man. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, who will continue on the program. At this time, the media will help us project the documentary on TVET's reform. So while we follow the media, please turn your attention to the multimedia screen. Thank you. All right, while they fix up that technical glitch, permit me to just enlighten you a bit about the structure of the TVET program. The initiative offers structured programs such as Master 6, the 6-month intensive practical skill program, and not just that, another category called Master 12, a 1-year specialized technical training program, and the 3-year technical college track designed to build a strong post-basic skills foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not when I say this initiative is well thought out, well planned out, and well mapped out for the Nigerian people. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll move next to the overview of the Nigerian Skills Qualifications Framework while the media gets that on the documentary set. Without, please help me make welcome the Executive Secretary of NTBE, Professor Idris Bugaji. Please welcome Professor.
The Honorable Minister of Education, the Honorable Minister of State, the Permanent Secretary, distinguished personalities, Alhaji Baba Karemi of the IRS MPI. He's staying in a corner over there. I believe you've been properly recognized, sir. Members of the different sector state councils are present. Representations from different agencies of TVET, the entire TVET family are represented here, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
I had wanted to start by giving an apology, but I may need to briefly respond to the Honorable Minister of Labour. But ideally, I thought it was ITF for me, because that has been the view of ITF. With due respect, our Honourable Minister of Labour, TVET was coined in 1999 in Bonn, Germany. It's an international conference of technical and vocational education practitioners. And that's how the word came up and adopted across the world. There are three components there: technical education, vocational education, and training. Technical education resides in the Ministerial education. Vocational resides in the Ministerial education. Training, we share it with the Ministry of Labour. We share it. It's not given that we share it. And with the Nigerian qualification framework, we have called on several times that the trade test certificate issued by the Ministry of Labour should be stepped down and declared persona non grata. This is because the syllabus, the curriculum used under that is developed by one body, the Federal Ministry of Labour. The examination, the Federal Ministry of Labour. The certificate issued by the Federal Ministry of Labour. No check, no balance. This is against global best practices. We have called the National Council on Skills meeting that trade tests should be delisted from recognized qualifications. And there are some allegations that when you retire as a director from the ministry, they give you an envelope with at least 500 to 1,000 blank copies. It's an allegation anyway. So I'm recommending that that certificate, Honourable Minister, should be delisted completely. The Nigerian qualification framework gives us global best practice. The training center, the regulator, and the awarding body are separated. No one is allowed to combine two functions. That is the first part of my short brief. The second part, Honourable Minister, is an apology. 3 days ago, on Tuesday, the NTBE launched occupational standards on call center operations to help young Nigerians, move into this very important industry. Customer service, etc. Global jobs are there available. We also inaugurated the Sector State Council on Creative Media, Nollywood, Hollywood, all of them are there. During those functions, I made a statement about this event today. And I gave some figures which have to be corrected today by the Honourable Minister of Education. 45,000 to be given to TVET students as stipend monthly. That figure is not correct. But I am appealing to the Minister that that figure is doable. In fact, I am appealing to the Minister that our TVET students should be given the minimum wage. TVET 1, TVET 2, TVET 3. When that news went round, it became viral. A lot of prayers for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. People were saying, now skills are being recognized. Young people are having opportunity. If we give our students just 10,000 in number, 70,000 the minimum wage, monthly is just a bill of 700 million. Annually 8.4 billion. Honourable Minister, not not only that, in 2019, Honorable Minister, I was in Morocco. I was invited by the Kingdom of Morocco. I was rector of Kaduna Polytechnic, and I went around to see their skills development program. The King of Morocco was trying to build a skills training center for IDPs of Maiduguri, victims of the Boko Haram insurgency. We went around, they have about 325 vocational training institutes, each one having specialization. State-of-the-art equipment. If you enter, you will think you are in a topmost university in Southeast Asia. In terms of infrastructure, they are given monthly stipend of 750 dirhams, which is $75,000, which is equivalent to 120,000 naira per month. At the moment, I have 30 Nigerian students that I have sent to Morocco to learn from their own system over there. If our dear President can provide this request of minimum wage to TVET students to encourage enrollment, even if he suspends the Lagos-Calabar highway, if he suspends the Lagos-Sokoto highway, if the 18 medical simulation labs are suspended, even if all the interventions that are ongoing here in the FCT by Wiki are suspended, but if Mr. President continues to invest into Tibet, I am very sure 2027 is already a concluded election. We are going to win. With skills, Mr. President is sure of a second term, inshallah. With skills, we will take over the Lagos Government House in 2027. I'm not mentioning any name, but everybody knows who this is meant for. So skills is an area of investment. Government needs to do more and more. This is the beginning, and I'm very hopeful the skills ecosystem will be transformed in the next coming 6 years, so that Nigeria will be like Morocco. Morocco's enrollment has moved from 500,000 in 2019 to close to 2 million. The major source of income for Morocco today is skills export and superphosphate fertilizer. They have oil, they have no gas. I have been asked to talk about NTBE. So let me move to NTBE. There's supposed to be a PowerPoint, please. Help us project the PowerPoint.
I know. When you give professors microphone.
The Nigerian Skills Qualification Framework represents a transformative approach to education and workforce development, designed to bridge the gap, critical gap, between academic line and workforce and industry requirements. This comprehensive framework establishes standardized pathways for skills recognition, validation, and progression across all sectors of the Nigerian economy. As Nigeria continues to position itself as a leading economy in Africa, the need for a robust qualification system that aligns with both national development goals and international standards has become paramount. This framework serves as the foundation for creating a skilled, adaptable, and globally competitive workforce. The new TVET initiative of terrestrial education is being delivered under the Nigerian Skills Qualification Framework, with support from private sector-led sector skill councils, the awarding bodies, the certification authority NAPTEL, and all other key stakeholders in the skills ecosystem in Nigeria. In fact, we are appealing that all other skills training in Nigeria, in the Ministry of Labor, in the Ministry of Youth Development, in the Ministry of Women Affairs, should be under the NSPF. If you do not do that, you are only issuing certificate of attendance, which is neither recognized by the Federal School of Science nor recognized globally. The second slide is on core components and the structure. Second slide, please. We have 9-level classification, level 1 to 9. Level 1 is equivalent to, in academics, JS. Level 9 is equivalent to PhD in the academic side. But of course, skilled workers earn more than professors across the world, in Europe, in Asia. At least 3 times what professors are earning. There's also sectoral integration across all the different sectors of the skill ecosystem. There's also quality assurance. The next slide. Next slide, please. The benefits of the key stakeholders. Students and learners, they have a clear progression pathway from basic education to advanced qualifications. The enrollment shall also rise in the technical colleges. At the moment, we have only 129 technical colleges in Nigeria. That's against 15,000 senior secondary schools. The figure is dismally low. With this enrollment, I am very sure many states will convert their ordinary secondary schools, conventional secondary schools, to technical colleges in order for them to enjoy this intervention of the Honorable Minister. There's also enhanced employability through industry-recognized credentials, flexible learning options, and a seamless transition between academics and vocational tracks. There are benefits for employers and industry, as listed there. Standardized skill sets ensuring predictable competency levels. The training under NSPF is done with industry. In fact, 80% is supposed to be hands-on. And that's why master class persons have been brought on board. The benefits for educational institutions include unified standards promoting consistency and collaboration, improved standards and curricular alignment with industry demands, enhanced international recognition, and a streamlined accreditation and quality assurance process. Those are 2 major projects, AKK gas pipeline and another building construction in Abuja. These are skill sets. Skill sets for this project are largely imported at the moment. A lot of construction sites in Abuja, they are using skilled workers from Togo and Benin. AKK gas pipeline, we counted only a few hundreds when it was started, while they needed 5,000 welders, scaffolders, and integrity testers. Next slide, please. These are the critical success factors, government's commitment. And that's why I'm saying we must allow this government to continue for for the next 6 years, so that this intervention can be started. This intervention is using the Nelfund platform, which has been a well-tested, tested and trusted digital platform for disbursement. It's not like the trader money which they used to distribute in the past. This is a digital platform, and there are no cost workers there. There is also industry partnership. This is very important for success. We need to bring the private sector to buy into this intervention. A lot of the training will be done partly in the industry. There's also a need for technology integration, robust digital platforms. All those who are applying have to go through a portal. And with MBT, NAPTEL, and the Federation of Education, we are also ensuring standard quality assurance in the system. The final slide. The next steps, immediate action. We must establish stakeholder consensus. I'm very sure the Ministry of Labor is now convinced, and they are now going to be part of that consensus. We have to also identify, this launch, in fact, is a comprehensive awareness campaign targeting educational institutions, employers, and learners. The next step will be the medium-term goals, which may come in another 2 years or so. We have to complete the pilot program and evaluation and expand the coverage so that every technical college is covered, more skills training centers are also covered, as well as more master class persons are also involved. And we must ensure international recognition agreements so that products of this skills training can find their jobs easily across the world. In fact, the 30 students that I sent to Morocco, they are finishing training this June. Many of them say they will not come back to Nigeria. They will join going to work off and go to Europe and the Middle East. But I told them, please come back home so that your parents can see you. And then you can take your visa and go wherever you want to go. In the long term, Honourable Minister, we must achieve full integration of what we are doing here with African Continental Skills Framework. This will allow free labor migration from Nigeria's skilled workers across the African continent under the Continental Free Trade Zone. In conclusion, Honourable Minister, sir, the NTBE represents more than an educational reform. It is a strategic investment in our nation's future. Success requires collective commitment from all stakeholders to transform Nigeria's human capital development landscape and secure our position as Africa's leading economy. This is a major step in the renewed home agenda, and all stakeholders are invited to buy in and promote NSQ work. I thank you for listening. We remain your skills, not just degrees, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for him. It was moving like a train that you cannot stop. Thank you very much, sir. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we continue recognizing our dignitaries as we step into the hall. Permits me to recognize the presence of the Deputy Executive Secretary Services, UBEC, Tunde Ajibolu, MNR. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you for coming, sir. Also, while he was presented, we have the presence of the Executive Secretary, Touchphone, Academic Soli Echo, FNRA. I've just been reliably informed that we were saying having technical issues with the video, and as such, the Honorable Minister has demanded that we progress with the activities. All right. I've just been directed in programs like this. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite to the podium at this time the First Lady, missionary in Nigeria, the President's Lady Mechanic Association of Nigeria, the President, Lady Mechanic Association of Nigeria. Thank you very much, for a 1 minute remark. Please, round of applause for Please put your hands together for Madam President.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our Honorable Minister for all protocols duly observed. My name is Sandra, Engineer Sandra, Doctor in Auto Mechanics, Aquador, member of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, MFRO, the First Lady Mechanic in Nigeria, the founder of the Lady Mechanic Initiative, the National Treasurer, Amalgamated Union of Motor Mechanics and Technicians of Nigeria, the Vice President, Nigeria Skills Sector Council. Honorable Minister, sir, thank you for this great program. I've been longing to see this kind of thing happen in Nigeria. I've been a mechanic for 40 years. My workshop has been running for 31 years in Lagos State. I've empowered over 6,000 female mechanics in Nigeria in different skills, area of specialty. Today I stand before our Honorable Minister. I had to come here because it's about TVET. TVET is the engine room of all nations. As long as the manufacturer of motor vehicles continue to produce cars year in, year out, in different models, we will definitely need the artisans. We need the skilled workers. Today, I have to bring women into the profession because women, we can multitask. We have all it takes to do this. I have
than you are doing in the kitchen or just bearing children. It does not stop you from being a beautiful woman. It does not stop you from being a wife. It does not stop you from being a mother. You can still be beautiful and be that mechanic with your passion and potentials. Honorable Minister, sir, men have been there from generation to generation, leaving the women aside. I stand before you, sir. This program of TVET, since Lady Mechanic can train nationwide, the Honorable Minister, sir, let's bring women, let's be part of it. Side by side with the men. We respect the men a lot, but the truth is that we pay more attention to details. The Honorable Minister, sir, Lady Mechanic has also taken this into the public secondary schools. As I speak to you, I'm in Imo State with a school called Santa Maria. Lady Mechanic takes the workshop right into the public school. We're building a workshop there. It is called the Lady Mechanic After School Club. Why did we come to this? We saw that a whole lot of young girls, they run away from science. We started a STEM education, robotic and coding for juniors, pupils in schools. Lagos have been very successful. The Honorable Minister, sir, all the Lady Mechanic initiative this from you is encouragement, support, and scale up. We've been there. We have proved ourselves. We have done a lot. I've been sponsored by the U.S. government to visit 7 states in America, up to Detroit General Motors. I've been to the White House twice. They took me from Nigeria. I was like a princess, one princess, when I got to Washington, D.C. Because they had to give me escorts to take me from one state to another. Detroit, Pennsylvania, where you have scantily female mechanics. They are not much. They are asking me from Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria is blessed. They are asking me how are you doing it. I will tell you, if you Google my name, you'll see all the things I've done. I don't want to say too much, but I've proved myself in Nigeria. I was in charge of so many governments of states, their maintenance and repairs of all their vehicles. As I speak to you, we do upgrade in different forms, CNG, in all that, paying attention to details because of hazard. Today, Honorable Minister, thank you, sir, for bringing TVET, because we have to also look at not just the training, but the empowerment sustainability. Why? Because if they finish working, where is the space to start doing their job? If they don't get a space, they run back to being a driver or car repairer. If this country loses the focus on TVET, we are going to have issues. Because I know everybody in the room, you like big engine, you like G-Wagon, you like the big cars. Who is going to fix that? Who is going to diagnose? Honorable Minister, sir, I volunteer to be the face of TVET for Nigeria. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for Madam President, for Lady Mechanic. Thank you very much. Having please, you also recognize the presence of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Student Engagement. Please put your hands together for Honorable Sonny Asefo. Thank you very much. And just like the Lady Mechanic has said, ladies and gentlemen, I told you earlier that I'm not here alone. At this time, I will yield the floor for my co-MC, Mrs. Oti Agatha, to take over. Please a round of applause for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to invite the visionary leader. He is a sailor, he is a pilot. I call him an ambassador sent on a mission to the Federal Ministry of Education to to revitalize the system, and above all, to digitalize the education sector. On that note, I call him the Digital Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, join me welcome the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Arausa, for his presentation. Your Excellency.
To create a better way to do this. But everyone will agree with me today. Today is a great day for this nation. Like President Bola mentioned, will always say, youth are the heartbeat of the nation. And now today, we have a president, the president Bola mentioned, that believes so much in the abilities, capabilities, and the innate potential of the youth. And that's why every day, once this president wakes up, one thing that bothers his mind is how do I unleash the capabilities of this youth. And that's what the president has directed us to do. And that's what we're doing today. I'll call technical and vocational education ran in parallel with our tertiary education. But over the last 20 years, we left that behind. We focused on tertiary education and our tertiary education. But what did we do? We've been churning out graduates with no life skills. We have so much under unemployment in this country. But we have very energetic youth. They want to learn. They want to be useful to themselves, useful to the society they live, useful to the country and the global world about. And that's what this President Bola directed us to do. And that's what we're doing today. It's a great day for this nation. We're building one matter most back to our society. We're unlocking the innate capabilities of our youth. And women will be part of the debate. This achievement agenda has been carefully created to ensure that as men getting, women getting, it will be almost 50-50%. So you can best be assured. Let me quickly begin, so I don't miss the protocol. Let me begin by recognizing my colleagues. I said, how much I feel about her. The country is lucky today to have the president, Mr. Diamond, as the Minister of Education. And Mr. Israel, longitudinal direction, and just expansive in knowledge and experience. It was as if you were born. You will approach up for this job. Can you say something? And also, I know the Minister of Labour is represented here. I'm expecting the Minister of Youth in a minute. And I also would like to acknowledge all the work that Permanent Secretary Mr. Gabriel NH is doing. Thank you so much for the work. Several of our executive secretaries here, executive secretary of NTBE, Ministerial University Commission, NCC, we're now working together in tandem. We have a synergistic approach in the way we're transforming the education sector. The directors of the Federal Ministry of Education that we work so hard. We're pushing you, you're working almost 16 hours a day now. We appreciate you. We know you in the last almost 10 months. You work more than you worked in the last 20 years. You have to think that all your work. And you're doing it all the time. So thank you. The country appreciates you. And also, let me also formally recognize the First Lady Mekali. Spoke with passion. And this is what it is. It's like TVET. It's like what It's the most important part of any society, but it's been buried. And that's what we're seeing today. You saw please take a seat. You saw the banter between a representative of the Ministry of Labour and the Executive Secretary of NTBE. It shows one thing. Democracy flourishing in Nigeria today under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where every single Nigerian can express their opinion without being vilified. That's it. But then, what does it mean? There's something missing. There's something missing outside. That's TVET. We're bringing it back. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is bringing TVET back. Let the nation is the beneficiary of all this. Now, members of the press, and before I recognize ladies and gentlemen, let me carefully recognize my dear friend, Alhaji Baba Ishaku. Thank you. Is this, and I have to specifically recognize them. Once he heard about this debate, he came to my office and said, I will do everything to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to support Nigerian youth. I will build assembly plants of tricycles, renewable energy tricycles, and vehicles. And today, he just got back from China. He will be deploying several manufacturing plants across the country where where candidates will go, they will learn, and they will get jobs. And let me be clear with this agenda. We're not just going to be training people for the training's sake. We've carefully done our labor gap analysis. We know what skills and trades are needed in Abuja today, what skills and trades are needed in Kano State today. So we're careful. We're laser focused in the way we'll be training these kids, so that when they leave, they'll get jobs. And we want to replicate what is happening in other countries. Today, a plumber earns more than a doctor in the UK. In America, an electrician earns more than a lawyer. That's what we want to create. Life skills. Once you have life skills, you make a lot of money. You will live well. You'll be respected in the society. And nobody can look down on them. Anybody that says, oh, people that went to technical and vocational education, a lot of people that went there 40, 50 years ago, they were leaders. They were leaders and they're leaders today. So we just got it wrong. But guess what? We have a president today, and the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that is fixing every single sector in this country. And not just fixing it superficially, fixing it from bottom up and putting us on a path of sustainability. We thank him and we should be very grateful to him. Now, before you can plan well in a decisive manner to know where you're going, you have to look at your present. We have a unique demography in this country, 220 million people today. 70% of those people below the age of 30 years. And if you dial it down, 43% below the age of 15. So we're a youthful population. We're very uniquely placed to service the world, to service Nigeria and service the world with the skills that the world needs. And no, don't go yet, please. Please give us back. And with our current birth rate, in 25 years from now, we will have a population of about 400 million. So we have emerging crisis in our hand. We need to uniquely skill our youth. And that's what we're doing with TVET. And there's something missing today. We have about 5.2 million people, students, leaving secondary school. Only 1.8 million gets into any of our tertiary institutions, universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. We have about 3.4 million people, citizens, young men and women, being dropped on a yearly basis. Where are they going? And those are the people. We see you, we hear you, we're bringing opportunity to you from today. This is a huge demographic gain for the country, and that's what we're tapping in today. Next slide. And that's why We're very clear with this. We knew where we were going with this. We came up with clear 6 high priority areas as part of our Nigeria Education Sector Renewal Initiative. First one is TVET. That's where we're at today. We also have our expansive agenda, STEM with 2 M's: science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medical sciences. We're moving with full speed on our strategies on our out-of-school children to reduce these numbers and give them opportunities. Then the 4th one, a girl child education. We have a luminary program that we've launched, and we have several things we're implementing. We've gone far policy stages, and we're seeing early results. Data and digitalization is a big part of our education transformation. Of course, as well, quality assurance. But let's go to where we're headed today. Next slide. We've carefully curated the skills. Before we came, there's there are about 100 and something skill sets. That's so unwieldy. It's unmanageable. So we sat down for the last 6 or 7 months. We worked so hard to carefully to connect the missing skills and what the market needs. We've done labor gap analysis. We know what we need. So we limited the skills that we'll be training people on into these 7 categories. Construction and infrastructure, you can see all the components there. Digital and media skills, you can see all the components there. Technical and automobile skills, you can see all the components of what we'll be doing. Specialized technical skills, you can see refrigeration and air conditioning, plumbing and pipe fitting, woodwork, carpentry, and joinery. Renewable energy, we have to look at what we need now and into the future. You can see what we're doing. The president is big on CNG, energy transition, reducing our carbon footprint. And that's why we have so many CNG plants being built now. We also have cars being retrofitted to use CNG. And that gives you almost 80% reduction in the cost when you compare it to the cost of PMS or diesel. We have clear skills. We're going to be training young Nigerians on agriculture and livestock, and as well as creative skills. And if you look at all these 7 areas, we've carefully curated them so that there are lots of these areas that women will fit into. Let me just take something about talk about beekeeping. There's several areas in the northern part of the country that if you do that, you're making so much money. The Vice President told me, the Minister of Agriculture told me just recently about wheat farming. If you cultivate an acreage of wheat today, you make net profit of almost 3 million naira per acre. If you have 100 acres, you can figure that out. If you have 1,000 hectares, you can figure that out. That's almost 3 billion in profit a year. What job can be better? Our young kids, with all due respect, we have our tertiary institutions, but go get life skills. That's what will change the world. We're not reinventing anything today. Let's look at countries that have done this. Germany built its economy on technical and vocational skills. 500 years after, they've still the leading industrial power in Europe. Look at what South Korea did. Let me tell you a data that somebody just quoted, that this is clear data that I got just last week. In 1970, the GDP of Nigeria was about $150 per capita. That was the same GDP of South Korea. Today, GDP of Nigeria is just $1,600 per capita. Guess what the GDP of South Korea is? $36,000 per capita. What did they do? They did the right thing. They focused their economy, designed the economy based on technical, vocational skills, so that they can, and they've remained the industrial power of South Asia today. Singapore is doing the same thing. China is doing the same thing. India is doing the same thing. So we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just doing the right thing for this nation. We're doing the right things for our youth. And that's what this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wakes up every day to do the right thing for the youth of this country and for everybody. And I'll repeat myself, as we train these youths, we're mapping them to get jobs. They will be there. They will be well trained. The main difference between what we're doing today is just not training for training's sake. We've carefully curated this with what I call reverse Pareto rule. What's Pareto rule? Pareto is what success. Success is 20% policy and 80% implementation. So what we're doing with this TVET program, we're only going to give them 20% of their time will be on didactics. 80% will be spent on practical skills. They will be at those centers. So by the time they are done, they're very, very well trained. They're confident in their abilities that they've gotten good skills. So this is a 360-degree change, a sea change that will drive our country into an industrial power, that will move our country from a resource-based to knowledge-based economy. Next slide. So we carefully plan this out. You have the Master 6, Master 12, and the 3-year program. The Master 3, Master 6, we will use the skill training centers. And we're doing this, we're using a lot of private institutions that are accredited, that we've accredited, that will be monitored. So we're creating a new, different value chain in a private sector education system. With the Master 6 program, 6-month skill technical and skill training centers, this will be totally hands-on. Totally hands-on, and anybody can get in. You don't need any formal education. And at the end of it all, by the time you're finishing, you'll be NSQF certified. National Skill Qualification Framework. This is an international certification that will make you, your degree is valuable, is recognized anywhere in the world. You will get NSQF at the end of it all. And we've carefully partnered with all the sector areas where we're all on board, and we're using an NAPTEP as a standard certification, but they will be the awarding body. They'll be listed, the various awarding body will be listed on that certificate. Now, and we've identified the courses, the skills that you can learn in 6 months. Master 12, that's our vocational enterprise institutions. Several of these were built many years ago. Government promised them that investors should go and build them. They trusted the government, they built these vocational enterprise institutions. Government did not patronize them. But let me tell you today, all the investors that have invested in it, you will now get value for your investment. We're patronizing you. We move a lot of money into this sector that will enable you to build more infrastructures, reskill and upskill your teachers so that you can give us the best. So we have that, the Vocational Enterprise institutions that we'll be using. There's some entry requirement for that. At the end of this all, NSQ certificate. 80% practical, 20% didactics. And I will now have a 3 years technical program at the federal and state technical institutions. The entry requirements, NECO, WIAC, and if you had previous learning skills, we can do your NSQ, get your NSQ, that gives you admission as well. At the end of it all, you get the National Technical Certificate and the National Board Certificate, as well as an NSQ certificate. Next slide. And now, what have we done differently? What have we done differently? We are incentivizing our youth to get life skills. We will pay them $22,500 every month. every month. We will pay their tuition fee at those skill technical centers, those vocational enterprise institutes, and also federal technical colleges and the state technical colleges. We're not just going to pay these schools pittance, we're paying them decent amount of money so that they can have enough fund. We're building a different value chain in a technical and vocational education sector. So, as many students you have, you get paid per student, but you're going to be carefully accredited based on the high standard we've set up, and this is being monitored by, this will be done by the NBT, Nigeria Board for Technical Education. As I told you earlier, we're focusing heavily on practical skills. They will spend 80% of their time, which averages to about 3.5 days, at these mastercraft centers. We've mapped down these mastercraft centers into the large industries, medium-sized industries, and smaller-sized industries, as well as the artisans out there that we're carefully vetting, accrediting. So let me give you an example here. We take an artisan that does tiling. We meet, how many students can you take? He says, I can take 10 students. We'll pay him 30,000 per month per student. So that's 300,000 of discretionary income to him. He will train those students, and what will happen? As he trains those students, he has 10 students to use to expand his business. He has 10 students additional to use to expand his business. And every month, if you look at that, 300,000 per month, once he expands the business, he can come back and say, oh, I can take 10 more. But what we would do, those artisans would have been pre-qualified, vetted. And we're just not going to leave it like that. We're actually finalizing that, all the processes to hire 774 PMOs, project monitoring officers, that will go and ensure that students are there. And we're also using technology to geofence that they're there. So you can't cheat this. Every student that gets admitted, we will use their NIN. So we're using technology to prevent any fraud here. And now, as those students are finishing, and the president of the Air Force Mechanic of Nigeria said, oh, she was worried, legitimate concern that what are they going to do? We're going to give them entrepreneurial grants in different ways. We will give them starter pack. NBT and some of our industry partners will start together. The starter pack, what an electrician needs to work, what a plumber needs to work, that starter pack is there. I wish we could demonstrate that to those starter pack. They will get, each of them will get starter pack based on their skills, and trade that will train them on. And those other ones, if they want to do their own business, we'll give them entrepreneurial grants. And now guess what? As we're discussing this plan with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that has so much belief in the youth of this country. So we got to entrepreneurial grant. The President said, what about they need more money? I said, oh. He said, go talk to the Bank of Industry CEO and discuss how he can do a hard-on low credit for them. So as they're growing, we want to create entrepreneurs out of these children. And guess what? Today, we're lucky we have youths that are endowed. They're very spirited. They want to succeed. They think big. So as a government, what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu government is doing is to give them everything they need to explode in their abilities. So they will get top-up credit as well. So this has been carefully created. We'll be training these youth to give them the skills to go work for people, and the ones that can work for themselves, we're going to support them through the entire process. And what we've done here, for easy deployment, we've leveraged NEFund. The NEFund already has existing technology that works. They've been paying students monthly stipend. They've been paying universities, so NEFON will help us. They're going to demonstrate what they've done to us in terms of the portal during the course of this morning. We're using NEFON platform to pay them, to pay the students, pay the schools, and pay the MasterCard persons as well as the artisans. Next slide. Next slide, please. Is that it? Okay. Okay, that's it. So, this is your, today, this portal to admit students will open. And let me address what the MBT ES is saying. You said 46,000, and you came here and apologized. We're going to be training more than 46,000. So there's nothing for you to apologize. We'll be training hundreds of thousands. We have a president in the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that believes so much in the future and destiny of this country, and more importantly, our youth. The president has given up a lot of money to do this, and we're mobilizing every resources to do it. And we will finish that money, we'll go back to president. I can tell you, president will give us more. So we're not limited. We're going to be training hundreds of thousands. So Nigerian youth, why TVET? Today is your day. This portal will open there. Go there, go apply, and start getting meaningful life skills. I congratulate you, and let me particularly thank our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for changing the destiny of Nigeria forever, putting this country on the path of sustainability. Thank you so much.
I believe we can give the Honorable Minister a standing ovation and a round of applause for Mr. President's commitment. Please, a round of applause for the President and Commander-in-Chief.
May please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that apt presentation. It was indeed captivating. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll move to the next item on the agenda. I've been reliably informed by the technical crew that the videos are set for presentation, but we'll take the first one, which is on the demo on the trainee registration portal. And this is to be done by the Executive Director of Operations, NELFund, Mustafa Ilga.
Good morning. With your permission, sir, I would like to stand on the existing protocol. We heard a lot about skills, and when you talk about skills, NELFund is not far away. So that's why the minister gave us this opportunity to say, NELFund, come join us, let's work together. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Can we have the video, please? So, because of time, we'll just have a walkthrough. So this is a video on how to apply. So there is a portal. The link will be mentioned after this. So when you get to the portal, there are lots of information about all the skills. There is how to apply and about. Let's continue, please. So you drill down, all the skills that the minister talked about are there. The next stage that happens is applicant will go to apply. The next stage is the applicant is going to put his name, that's national identity number, and his date of birth. So we are linked to NIN. So what we do directly, we don't take anything, we don't take applicant's name. We get the data direct from NIN. So the next step, the applicant will click proceed. So we check with the NIN to make sure you're Nigerian. So you can see the number on there. It's automatically gotten from NIN. But what we did is, because we know a lot of people, the time they register for NIN, their number has changed. So we give the room to update the number. So after inserting the number and the email, then we go on proceed. So you will get an OTP. The applicant will get an OTP to his mobile number. So after inserting the OTP, Yeah. So we verify that the OTP is genuine. Next stage is creating a password. Continue. So we'll ask the applicant to log in because we want to make sure, yes, he can remember his password from the beginning. So we'll ask him to log in. So as you can see, there are some data that are blurry there. Those are the names we got from NIN. We don't ask for the applicant to put his name on the system. We automatically get it from NIN because we don't want someone to use someone's NIN to register on the system. We want to make sure that the right person is the one applying. So the next stage is we ask for BVN and account. The minister spoke about getting serpents, which is the upkeep monthly. So when we collect the account number and the BVN is, we want to match the account and the BVN to make sure the name is tally. And we take the same name and match it with the name. So that means someone cannot put another person's account number for security purposes. Next. So we ask the applicant what kind of skills you like to learn. Is it the STC, which is the skill center, is it vocational skills, which is the VEIs? The STC is a 6-month program, while the VEI is a 1-year program. Down you can see selection of skills. So the applicant will select the skills that he wants to learn. So here is a review page. The applicant is going to review all the information given and submit. So after then he will see pending, but there is no center assigned to that applicant. So the center will be assigned after review. So there is something that is not here. When you entered for the VEI, what we ask for you if you have done any certification, you have a diploma in any program, because the VEI is mostly for an experienced person. So I think for now is a thank you. Okay, so like I said, for the BEI, the applicant has to upload a certificate. So it's a straightforward application. It takes only 3 minutes to apply for the skills. And no one is excluded. If you are a Nigerian, you are eligible to apply. That's all for the applications. I would like to thank the Honorable Minister for acknowledging Nelson, because we've been working together. And the Honorable Minister, day and night, he will call us. Come, I have an idea. Why don't we change this? Let's put this. So most of this thing that you see here is not Nelson per se. Mostly it's from the Minister. Please, let's clap for him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for the Honorable Minister for his foresight and his vision coming to reality. While the presentation was ongoing, we have the privilege of welcoming the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, my comrade. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Comrade Ayodele Olawande. Welcome, Your Excellency. All right, we move straight to the next video projection. I believe that has been sorted. I will take the documentary on TVET reform. Audio visual, please take it away. While we are prepping that up, I'll just quickly indulge some members of the media. Please get set for the question and answer session. The Honorable Minister has kindly obliged that we'll take some questions. So when we get to that segment, by the show of hands, you recognize yourself, the media organization you write a report for, and then we'll move straight to the question. Is the media ready? Thank you.
vocational education and training is the answer to this high level of unemployment and underemployment that we have in our country today.
The TVET initiative aims to equip 5 million youths with practical industry-relevant skills linked to real opportunities. Across the country, many have already turned to vocational paths, learning trades, building businesses, and transforming their futures. Their success stories show what's possible when young Nigerians are empowered with the right skills.
Of 1985 to start learning how to fix cars. I was very young, age 11 or 12. And since then, I've been in the profession. I'm the one that started Benin Technical College, one of the people that started Benin Technical College in the 80s.
I studied architecture, and one of the things I inquired about when I just finished school was how I could put my skills to practice. I got a job in a furniture company. Jonathan and myself started to question why only the foreign-led companies were actually providing the kind of quality that you see abroad here in Nigeria.
I didn't actually study animal science or animal production in the university. I actually went to a flight school. I started a long time ago when I was a kid. It organically, grew into a business. So it was more of a hobby when I started. And as I grew older, I started keeping bigger animals.
I actually started out by becoming an engineer, and down the line that did not work out. Then I had the option again of choosing between my passion, which is my vocation, or what I studied in school. And in all honesty, I decided to follow my passion.
In the beginning, there was a lot of doubt. We didn't have the factory you see here today. We didn't have the money. This company was essentially bootstrapped from the beginning. We've gone from having a very small workshop with maybe about 10 people to a company going strong, over 250 people as we speak.
I think one of the first audacious thing I did was to create a ready-to-wear boutique for ready-to-wear kaftans. When I started, everybody thought I was crazy. Today, when I did it in 2019, I didn't understand it. 2025, everybody's on it.
We did an initiative with the government in Yola, thereabouts, and it was communities that didn't have access to electricity. So what we did was we built a solar kiosk. I mean, it's a small thing, but it definitely goes far, because the thing that we noticed was most of the communities, the houses don't have lights. So they have to take their phones to far distances just to charge them. And so because of that, we built this solar kiosk to accommodate that. And also, there was a training on at the same time for about 250 students, vocational training to show them how to install solar systems. So instead of just training them and then leaving them to go by their way, we thought of at least creating a business around it. So at least for them to start off, some of them.
Our business model is built around taking people off the streets and training them and giving them a skill set. So sitting here, we've taken up the community that are working with us at the moment. A few of them have worked with us over a decade, well trained now and well sorted after in the society, actually, when it comes to woodwork. The future of Nigerian agricultural sector is bright with the right knowledge and skills, because we have everything. God has given us a very fertile land. We've got rainfall. So all is left is just the skills, to be honest.
My dream for Nigeria is at a particular point in the next, maybe let's say 5, 10 years, whichever time, is for every house to have backup electricity, for every house to be able to power itself, for every business to be able to power itself, for any schools, hospitals to be able to power themselves or have alternative energy. And the best way for us to deploy that is through vocational training, because there are only a few of us that are still doing this. We need more hands on tech. We need the technology to spread as fast as it can. And for it to spread as fast as it can, we need more professionals. We need more people that are involved in the business. So please, we need more vocational training.
Everything is just given to us by God, but it's just left for us to put in the work and stay consistent. And then Nigeria will be a powerhouse in agriculture, and we'll get to be self-sufficient. We don't have to import food, and it's going to provide lots of jobs.
You go far alone, and you go farther together. So everything I think I am doing at this stage of my life, it's to be able to tell the generation after me that this is the blueprint.
Started out, I came into the industry with drive and passion for excellence, craftsmanship, and just showing what the possibilities and the talents that we have. However, when I started on the journey, I realized that it was much more than that. The skills, craftsmen have to be empowered, trained, invested in, and it now became more of a journey of thinking. That's what it has been.
People see TVET, like you being a mechanic, they think, no, it's a dirty job, I cannot do this. But I tell them that the dirty hands. So the government have a whole lot of work to do. We are always there to support them to do more. But we need to scale up.
This is a nation answer to underemployment and unemployment. We're modernizing training, aligning skills with industry needs, and building a future where every Nigerian has a chance to thrive. This is your time. Acquire the skill. Build your future. Build Nigeria's future.
Indeed, build your future, build Nigeria's future. Please, a round of applause for the Federal Ministry of Education. With the kind permission of the Honorable Minister, at this time I would like to invite the Honorable Minister of Youth, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, for his goodwill message. Please, a round of applause for my comrade.
Given 5 minutes. And I have a lot of protocol. Let me first apologize. You know, when you're in the teacher's terrain, a lot of people may have been thinking that this young man is just coming. Let me apologize for coming late. I was outside Abuja. I need to try as much as possible. And for those of us that are still young, we are not as old as them. And you can see that I'm the only young person sitting down there. I've been looking at my left and right. So let me use that opportunity and as a proper Yoruba boy to say that with due respect, sirs, I stand on all the protocols that they've been saying since morning, using my own, they are all my fathers, you can imagine, and mothers. Excluding the professor. And she's the youngest professor in their midst. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us this opportunity. Let me just stand on all existing protocol, the former this, former that, all of us. And let me thank this ministry for changing the narrative. And apparently this is what the president wants. This is what we're known for. I think I'm happy to join you to this important press conference launching of the technical and vocational educational training. What the Ministry of Education is doing with TVET program is a bold, very bold step. It is what we need to do now to create the atmosphere for the youth, even from their educational life. TVET will give young people the opportunity to practice and to get the skills, knowledge they need to succeed in the 21st century of our economy. With our vibrant and dynamic youth population now, you will agree with me that no Nigerian youth that is lazy. Most of the Nigerian youth, all of us are hardworking. We just need a team. We need those that can make our struggles be sensible. And this is one of those things you are seeing now. It is no doubt again that when majority of you want to write your speech, it has getting away from speech to slogan that we are the 70% population of the country. But I think you people are putting more attention on us now, so that the 70% will not send you inside. The potential